Most people think getting rich means earning more money. I used to think that too, but I was wrong. Because two people can make the same salary, and one ends up calm and confident, while the other lies awake at night worrying. That difference isn't about intelligence. It's about behavior. When I picked up The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, I expected another finance book. What I found instead was a mirror, one that forced me to look at every habit, fear, and belief I'd built around money. By the end of this video, you'll understand 10 money mindsets from the book that completely reshaped how I think about wealth, time, and peace of mind. Because wealth isn't about knowing more. It's about feeling right. Let's start with the first mindset. First, no one's crazy about money. Everyone's just shaped by their story. A friend of mine grew up during the 2008 crash, when entire neighborhoods felt the impact of job losses and foreclosures. So for him, saving wasn't about discipline. It was about safety. But someone else might have started their career during a bull market in 2020, 2021, where everything seemed easy and risk looked like reward. Neither is wrong. Each is simply a product of experience. Psychologists call it the availability heuristic. Your brain predicts the future based on what you remember most vividly. So when someone hoards cash, it's not ignorance, it's trauma. And when someone throws every dollar into crypto, it's not confidence, it's optimism, shaped by a short run of luck. That realization changed how I view money decisions, mine and other people's. Before judging anyone's choices, I ask, what experiences built their money story? Second, success isn't just hard work, it's luck and risk. We love to believe hard work guarantees results, but every success story hides a few lucky breaks, and every failure hides some bad timing. A friend of mine joined a startup 6 months before it exploded. She worked hard, yes, but she also had timing on her side. Another friend launched her dream business in 2020, right before lockdowns hit. Same effort, very different outcome. That's not fairness, that's randomness. Morgan Housel calls it the tale of luck and risk. Once I understood that, I started to see money through a lens of humility. When you win, be humble. When others lose, be kind. Because you're not better. You were just better timed. That perspective keeps your ego small and your gratitude large. Third, no one enough is enough. We live in a culture of more money, more status, more hustle. But if you never define what enough means, you'll chase forever. I remember getting my first real raise, and instead of feeling satisfied, I instantly felt behind again. There was always someone doing better, a bigger house, a nicer car, a luckier career. That's what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. Every time you level up, the finish line moves. Even billionaires are chasing more. So I wrote down my own enough number. For me, it wasn't about a salary goal. It was about peace, having enough to live well and sleep better. Maybe your version of enough is owning your time or never checking emails on weekends, or knowing rent or mortgage won't keep you up at night. Define it early, because enough isn't about limits, it's about freedom. And if you're curious about the book, I dropped my affiliate link below. It helps the channel, and honestly, it's worth it. Fourth, compounding is the quiet superpower. Compounding is simple math that almost no one emotionally believes in. Wealth doesn't grow in big leaps. It grows through small, consistent decisions. If you invest $300 a month starting at 25, earning 7%, you'll have about $700,000 by 65. Start 10 years later, and you'll have less than half of that. Same total invested, wildly different result. That's not luck, that's time. The hard part is that compounding is invisible. You don't feel it working. Buying something gives you a dopamine hit. Saving doesn't. That's why people chase quick wins. Meme stocks, crypto hype, shortcuts. But the truth? The quiet investors, the boring ones who stay consistent, often win big over time. Compounding rewards patience, not brilliance. Start small, stay steady, don't interrupt the process. And hey, if you've made it this far, you probably value long-term growth too. So if you're getting something from this video, take a second to like and subscribe. It really helps more than you think. Fifth, getting rich and staying rich are two different games. Getting rich takes offense, taking risks, building, investing, experimenting. Staying rich takes defense, protecting, diversifying, saying no. So many athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs mastered the first game but lost the second. They knew how to make millions, but not how to keep them. That's not stupidity, it's human nature. We're wired to chase excitement, not stability. But the truth is, wealth preservation is about restraint, not reaction. So yes, take risks in your 20s and 30s, but as your wealth grows, play defense. Protect what you've earned. Staying rich means saying no more often than yes. Sixth, freedom is the real return on investment. When I was younger, I dreamed about things: cars, travel, status. Now, I dream about time. The freedom to choose what I work on, to take a break without guilt, to never say yes out of fear. Psychologists call it autonomy, and it's one of the biggest predictors of happiness. Money can buy that, not through luxury, but through leverage. You don't need millions to own your day. You just need enough. So don't use money to look successful. Use it to feel free. Because the richest person isn't the one with the biggest house. It's the one who controls their calendar. Seventh, real wealth is what you don't see. That friend with the new Tesla might be leasing it. That couple traveling the world might be maxing out their credit cards. What you see is spending. What you don't see is saving. True wealth is quiet. It's the emergency fund that buys you calm, the investments you don't brag about, the options you have when life changes. A U.S. bank study found that 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency. That's not a budgeting issue. That's a mindset issue. Wealth isn't about showing off. It's about sleeping well. Eighth, being reasonable beats being rational. The perfect financial plan doesn't exist if you can't live with it. Rational says, keep your low mortgage and invest instead. Reasonable says, I'd rather pay off my home because it helps me sleep. Rational says, buy the cheapest car. Reasonable says, buy the one that makes you feel safe driving your kids. Personal finance is called personal for a reason. The best plan is the one you'll actually stick to, not the one that looks smartest in a spreadsheet. Peace of mind is a financial return too. Ninth, build a margin of safety. Life doesn't always go according to plan. Jobs disappear. Markets crash. Illness hits. If your finances only work when everything goes right, you're one surprise from chaos. A margin of safety is your buffer, your I'll be fine fund. It's what keeps fear from turning into panic. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Because staying in the game is the only way to win long term. You can't control luck, but you can control preparation. 10th, optimism beats fear every single time. Spend 5 minutes on the news and you'll think the world's ending. Recession, inflation, uncertainty. Fear sells, but fear also paralyzes. If you let it run your decisions, you'll sit on the sidelines forever. Yes, bad things happen, but progress wins over time. Despite wars, pandemics, and crashes, the market has averaged strong returns for nearly a century. The world moves forward, even when headlines say otherwise. Stay cautious short-term, but optimistic long-term. Because pessimism sounds smart, but optimism builds wealth. Sometimes I still feel behind. Between student loans, housing prices, and everyday expenses, it's easy to feel stuck. But the psychology of money reminded me that wealth isn't built in a rush. It's built through small, boring, consistent decisions. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to stay consistent. Start where you are. Even $100 a month matters. Because the real goal isn't to get rich fast, it's to stop worrying about money. That's the real freedom this book helped me see. And if you found something valuable in this story, please subscribe. I will see you in the next one.